Okay. All right, I think we're live. Good morning, my LinkedIn friends. This is Brian Lee from Cyber Tech and Risk. And hopefully you had a wonderful week. A little bit cold outside, but I can see the leaves change so beautifully. So for today's topic, probably you already know, I'm very exciting. I will interview the team captains from our cybersecurity higher education contest, which happened last Saturday in RBC Water Park Place Auditorium. So it's a cybersecurity higher education contest. All right, so let me bring them on to the screen, and we should have 6 captains here. So let me put them. All right. So for people, can you see our captains? We have 5 here. One more will join. So we will start the chat. Okay. So I will at the beginning. I'd like to ask those people. They are the captain of each contest team in the final contest. So I'll ask them to quickly introduce themselves and who they are and where they're from. Okay, let's start. I think no specific order. Maybe Daniel, you can start.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Daniel Stuckless. I'm group team leader for Strikeforce, and I go to Fanshawe College. I have a legal background, so I have a bachelor's in law, and I also have some managing experience, and I'm incredibly interested in the cybersecurity field as well as dealing with governance and policy frameworks.
All right, let's do the next one. Ifeanyi.
Hi everyone, I'm Ifeanyi Odiaka. I'm a Nigerian. I'm doing my master's in information security at Untitled Tech University. I have my bachelor's degree in Nigeria in computer science, and my field is I actually have a GS certification that is an incident response. I'm more into incident response and managed security services as well. So yeah, that's it about me.
Okay, cool. Let's go to Liz.
Hi everyone, I'm Liz Jaluague from Ryerson University. I recently finished their certificate in computer security and digital forensics. And right now I'm doing contract work as a penetration tester. And yeah.
Wonderful, Liz. Wonderful. All right, so let's go to Chandu.
Chandu, I am from the University of Victoria. I study computer science, and I'm also the team captain for Team Cybertoria from Victoria. And I've been doing penetration testing, and I've been interested in security for a while now, and I've also completed some certs just to get some knowledge in the field. So yeah, that's about me.
Wonderful. So Victoria, they actually the champion for this contest. Okay. All right, let's move on. And let's go to Umair.
Hi, everyone. My name is Umair Ali. I'm the team leader for Team Aspire from Queen's College, Mississauga. I'm an MBA Marketing and Finance. Currently, I'm studying as a business analyst in the business analyst course in Queen's College. And also, I am pursuing my career in the aviation to become a commercial pilot at Canadian Flight Academy in Oshawa.
Wonderful. All right, we actually missing one team captain, Mashra from York University. So hopefully he can join very soon. All right, so this contest started actually from summertime. So when we first announced the contest rules and all those conditions, and the topic for the contest this time is cybersecurity challenge for small business, which is a very unique topic and also a big challenge in the industry. Because as we all know, small business, they may not have enough budget, they may not have enough resource, expertise, or even the awareness about the cybersecurity. But they represent the large percentage of business, at least in Canada. The number is like 97% are people they employ people 100 under, and there are about 76 is between 1 employee to 10 employees. So this is a big challenge in the industry. So we threw this challenge to the university and the college students to see what's their innovative solution is to resolve that. So we have the contest is like a pre-qualification round. So we have a team from everywhere. So they submitted their concept document and a PowerPoint. Then we have a judging panel to do those evaluation. Eventually, we select 6 teams, promising teams. So those are the team join the final contest in this month, Cybersecurity Awareness Month, to join the final contest in the RBC Water Park Place Auditorium at the People in Cyber Conference. And eventually, we have the winner announced. Just show you quickly some picture there. So for people who missed that conference. So this is our judging panel. And we have 6 judges, actually 7 contest chair as well. So we have judges from Mars. Mars is a very big, so the innovation incubator. And we have people from RBC, the director from RBC, and the director from BMO, senior manager from Defender, and lawyers, and also the people from Trend Micro as a solution provider. So those are our judges. And eventually, we have teams. University of Victoria won the first place, York University second place, and Queen's College and of Business and Technology Public Safety won the third place. 3 other schools, Ryerson University, Ontario Tech University, and Fanshawe College, they are the finalists of the contest. So that's some picture from the contest. All right, so just to give you a little bit of background. Now I turn around to our team captains. Maybe you can share with us what's your experience. What do you think? Well, what kind of things you like or dislike about this contest? Anyone can jump in. Maybe I start with our champion team.
One of the members you're going to have to add back because he actually left on mistake.
And Mash is also waiting to join the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
It's in
I'll talk a little bit about it. I really liked the contest. It was a really good experience. It was really nice of RBC to host. Also, but it was a little bit intimidating, but that's just something you have to work on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to strive towards it. So don't have too much public speaking experience.
Yeah. Okay.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I actually appreciated that you brought your Toastmasters chair to the contest. I myself joined Toastmasters a couple years ago, and I found it really helpful. So I was familiar with the format, but I'm still kind of intimidated by public speaking. So I still need more practice for sure.
No, it was pretty nice seeing the solutions everyone has to bring in. Like, it was really amazing how everyone worked so hard to bring in solutions, and especially hearing from people from different perspectives on what they think about security and about how the problem, the challenges that's being faced by small businesses. That was really something pretty nice. I have to realize that everyone actually knows what the problem is, right? And it was nice seeing that people are really aware of what is happening, and that's cool.
Yeah, I would like to add to it. It was a great experience. In fact, me and my team, we enjoyed a great, and we would like to thank you, Brian and RBC, for providing such a platform for students to come forward and share their ideas. More or less, I didn't like. What I didn't like. It's nothing in particular. Everything was quite good. Just that if in future contestants are given a little time to practice on the stage itself, just a little practice, so that they can get familiar. That's all. Rest, everything was very nice and very well organized.
Oh, so in regards to me, I enjoyed the contest. It was fun flying all the way to Toronto And I also like the exposure that we had, especially when you brought in the young team who spoke about, their experience. So I think these were the young professionals, but I think it was great exposure and great topics to be exposed, and especially to meet with other professionals in the industry. So yeah, that's very valuable.
Make this live streams working, because that's also interesting to explore the functionality if I can do that. Okay, so we have 4 people here. Let me see if I can bring one more on here. Who am I missing? Okay. All right, cool.
Thank you.
Okay, I get 6 people. I know Mashraf probably wants to join. Feels like I couldn't see anything here. Maybe it's just a technical limitation. I can only have 6 people in the chat. I don't know how to handle that one. Probably in the future I need to do more research, but it looks like we can only have 6 right now. All right, let's move on. So you all talk a little bit about your experience. Now back to you guys, because you are the team captain, right? So first of all, how did you find this contest in the in the first place? How did you find it? Where did you find it?
Where did we find it? Our teacher actually mentioned it to us. I'm taking cybersecurity, so it's a very related field. So my teacher's like, hey, you guys should all form groups and join. It's a very good experience. You get to meet some business leaders. You get a network. Ultimately, I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah, Bradley, when I was in Lambton College, during about the time I was graduating, that was when you actually started it. So the first time I wasn't able to participate. So while being in Lambton, in UIT, I saw it and I just spoke to some of my teammates and my classmates who would be interested, and that's just how I came about it. I was actually trying to be diversified. So if you look at the team, you see that we have more Nigerians. So I actually tried to diversify to get more members, but people weren't really interested, so to say. But that was how I came about the team. I'm able to find at least one Indian that is a little bit different from us. So, yeah.
In my case, I found cybertech and risk on meetup.com. I just moved back to Toronto in March or April, and I attended every single one that was hosted, and then Brian mentioned that the contest was happening, and I decided to join.
And yeah, and so I was actually working at RBC on a co-op at the time, and I was looking for conferences, right, in security, and that's when I found that Cybertech and Risk was hosting one at RBC Water Park Place. I think this was the ethical hacking session. So when I attended some of them, I found them to be really great, and I kept on going, and that's how I found about the contest.
Okay, so we have a module in our business analyst program that is career management, in which we have to view or visit or attend certain events. So we all have kind of all the students, they kind of registered themselves in Eventbrite itself. So from Eventbrite, we came to know about the contest itself, but our teacher is the one who gets the credit of pushing us all into this to get into the contest. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You all get that from different channels, but I'm glad you joined. And so when you are the captain, how do you put together a team? Because that's also some leadership communication need to be done, right? So you need to have 3 to 4 people together.
Yeah, absolutely. And because cybersecurity is like a multidisciplinary approach, you need a multidisciplinary approach in order to do it. You have to know networking, you have to know finance. There's just so many aspects of it. So for what I did is I actually picked a candidate from each walk of life. So I have one guy with a very strong economics background, myself with the legal background, and another individual with a very strong technical background, right? And then all together, we worked on it.
Okay, very nice. Because one question I got from some schools they have is, we don't have too many students specifically in cybersecurity major. In fact, some schools we don't even have a cybersecurity a course, right? So how do you putting together the things? So you're actually pretty some great answer. So some college they don't have a specific cybersecurity major or diploma. Okay. Yeah.
Well, so in my case, there was actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Liz, how do you form a team?
My class, everyone who was taking the certificate program that summer, our class was pretty small, around 15 people. And what's nice about it is that we all came from different backgrounds. So one guy was actually working at PayPal at the time. And my teammates specifically, one of them was an audio engineer previously. I myself studied biochemistry. One person was studying computer science and the other one was studying computer engineering. It wasn't all that complicated to form the team. I basically just said whoever gives me a portion of the registration fee first is on the team.
Okay. All right. Cool. That's good. Chandu, how did you find the team? You because your university is outside Ontario. That's actually a more challenge to you, right?
That's true. So what happened to me was, so I reached out to my co-op advisor regarding the contest, and I said, hey, there's this great contest, and I'm looking for some people to form a team. And so since she has like kind of like an overview, she knows a lot of people. So I reached out to her, and she helped me find like some teammates. And so I reached the teammates, and that's how I got to know each other. And I've known some of them before as well, but my co-op advisor helped me reach out to them to form the team. So yeah, I did all the way from Toronto.
Okay. Hope you enjoy the Toronto during your stay here. Okay. Who else want to speak on that, man?
Yeah, for us at Queen's College, the contest itself was taken pretty seriously, and all the classes or all the students were trying to prepare for it. They formed up teams, and I would like to thank our vice president that before coming to the contest itself, he provided us a platform where we were able to showcase our ideas and get judged by our teachers as well. So for us, it was like forming the team and everything was like contest itself. That's how we did it, and that's how I came up and meet my members of the team.
Okay, so you actually have some pre-contest, actually local contest at your college first.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, wonderful. Who else? I think. Okay, so we got everybody. Okay, cool. So you had a team. How do you look at review this challenge, right? So on surface, it looks like not a very complex challenge, and also kind of like a common small business. They don't have money, they don't have expertise. How do you put a cybersecurity solution for them? But when you dig into that, probably you will discover a lot of concerns, and your solution also. The success of your solution not only should be technically strong, but also need to fit to the scenario of a small business. So how did you develop your idea and the solution with the team? Can you share some insights from your end?
Sure. So what we did personally is we had 4 members. So each of us went home. We researched 5 topics, mostly specializing in our area of expertise. Okay. And then we actually had 20 ideas in total. Then we did process of elimination. We all wrote all 20 ideas on the board, and then we went through each party member. And we all selected one to actually eliminate. And there was the ability a topic. So like if the person goes, hey, no, I want this. So it turned into like a bit of a battle saying, hey, I want to keep this. Hey, I want to get rid of this. Right. And we just kept throwing the ideas. We kept eliminating, and we ended up getting down to 2 where we had to research one major topic for each, and then we thought which one would be more applicable to a small business with the lack of resources, and we ultimately chose a security policy and certificate. Are we still connected? Entertain them for now? Yeah, I'll do a little dance. Welcome back.
Okay. This is the first time I try with multiple people on the stream. So yeah, it's also a good experiment. Okay, so we hear the insights from Daniel, and he actually offered to dance. Okay, anyway. So who else want to share your, how did you develop the solution?
Yeah, well, for me, what we did was, one of the challenges actually we had was that the fact that everybody is working and we have different time, and we had to decide on a time that we actually meet. All the time we prepared for this, we had to be doing a Skype meeting, and this was usually done from 10 to 12 p.m. at night. So the first thing we did was to try and first understand the problem. So we decided that, okay, each of us should read about this and try to understand what actually is the problem, and what is being expected from us from the competition. So I think it took about a week, and we all did research based on that, and then we came back again, have a Skype meeting, and everyone came with different approach and with different ideas. So after that, we narrowed it down. We narrowed down to one simple idea, and we decided to focus and work based on the idea. And while developing that, one more common thing we noticed is that while developing ideas, one of the most important things about the whole challenge is the fact that small businesses don't actually know that they have a problem. All right, so realize that at the end, what is most important from that is the awareness, them being able to actually know that there is a problem, tackle the problem. So that's how we went about it, and that was how we came about the solution.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I like it. Number one, you're using technologies, right? So there's a Skype meeting rather than in-person meeting, which was really help. Another part I like is you kind of like you develop your solution, but you need to know the pain points about those people, right? So while you are talking to them, you kind of can feel. Originally, you probably thought about something. You think that's what they care about, but in fact, while you're talking to them, you probably discover another big problems they have. So I can see you kind of feel that things during the process, which also is a self-learning process. This kind of things is the same as like you come up with a startup, right? So you have to understand your target customers, what's the requirements, what's their pain points, what's their desire, right? So then you can put together a solution and verify with them. Okay, cool. All right, let's move on. Chandu? Liz, okay.
Yeah, so for us, we were coordinating through Discord. It was actually pretty funny because if one of us wasn't responding, it actually showed if somebody was playing a video game.
Okay.
But we actually went on our own and developed our own solution individually. Then we came together to see what threads were common. The common theme for all of us was education, and I think even in the finalists' presentations, it was similar. But it was interesting, even though we were all taking the same courses, we had different perspectives that we focused on. I was more on, my last role was in sales and marketing, so I was thinking of a sales funnel. Another person was focusing on policy. Another person was focusing on recent news stories. So we found a way to put it together in a funnel type form. So the first tier was news stories, the second tier was specific tools, and then the next one was consulting. So that's how it came together.
Nice. So I can also see you bring some like your practical experience from your work or your different industries and apply to this one. You mentioned the marketing funnel, the sales pipeline, those things, right? So which is really valid for this one. Cool. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Umair, yeah.
Yeah, for us, the primary focus was to make sure that we are interacting with each person in the team. So because we were all studying in the same class, so we had an opportunity to meet quite often with each other. So the first thing that we started doing is to actually understand that what really are the limitations and constraints that small businesses have when it comes to cybersecurity, and then what really is being offered to them beforehand in the market. And we try to define roles to people. It kind of worked, but the thing that really clicked was that when we gave everyone an opportunity to try and invent an idea of their own.
Okay.
Everybody did some brainstorming and came up with different ideas. Then we looked at the feasibility, that which idea is more feasible, and which idea, when it comes to when it comes to cost, when it comes to being practiced in the market. And in the end, we had a mix of ideas that we came up with our project itself, because we wanted to make sure that whatever solution we are trying to provide is going to cover all aspects, and also is going to be cost effective. That was the main focus, and I think that the team really tried coming up with a good idea in that.
Wonderful. So I can see your team. So first of all, everyone is dedicated on that one. So they work on the solutions and they propose. Then you gather those ideas together. Also come up with a comprehensive solutions and cover the quite many elements in that solutions. Okay, cool. All right, Chandu, and your team solution is quite unique, right? So it's different. So I'd like to hear also your insight.
Sure. So initially when our team met, right, so cybersecurity is a huge field, right? So we needed to focus on like a good topic, something that's really hot. So what we did some research online. We spoke with some experts in the field as well in Victoria and Vancouver. And then we figured out that social engineering was a huge aspect, and how phishing affects, data breaches, because there are a lot of data breaches right now. So we thought we'll focus on that, right? And in the meantime, when we were talking to each other, we figured out that, because we are coming from a computer science background, right? And we've done some co-ops in the security field, and we've built personal projects. We've done, scripts on the side. And when we had a look at all of those projects, we figured out that it was related to how we can combat, problems related to phishing. So we thought that, we can combine all of that to form CyberAt, and it actually worked. So yeah, we had to use some, some of our experience, some of the scripts that we, built in class, to combine it to form one solution. So there's a lot of research done online as well regarding this.
And you also have a demo for the solution.
Yeah. So yeah. So we actually got it to work as well. So it's actually a live working solution. Yes, and we recorded it on Abhishek's and Pranay's computer, because it has a lot of dependencies, so we can't all run it on all of our computers. So yeah, it was challenging technically, but no, it was fun working together as a team. We learned a lot. We definitely learned a lot, and also from other teams as well. So great job.
Wonderful, cool. All right. So you all share some experience on how you developed that solution. So let me ask you the question about why are you guys on the stage, right? So it's quite, I guess for some people, if you speak a lot, probably no big deal. For some people, not always on the front stage, and so you're probably a little bit nervous, right? So share with us a little bit about your kind of feeling while you're on the stage. So what kind of things do you think about on the stage? Are you nervous or you're okay?
Okay, so I'll be completely honest. I was actually quite nervous about that. Like my background is usually in writing or technical aspects, right? It's not usually public speaking. I can write an email that goes to everybody, and that's fine. I have time to think about it, really collect my thoughts. On stage, what you say is how you're applicable. There's no Control Z, right? Ultimately. So it's a very scary experience. However, you learn a lot from it, right? It's like, hey, do you actually know what you're talking about? Are you able to express it? Right? And that's what's ultimately key. Right. So ultimately, fantastic experience. I'm sure others have insight into that.
Good. Because we also have a time limit, right? So you cannot stay on the stage forever. So we only give you 8 minutes, which is usually when you do the business pitch, or like say you are in the sales, you pretty much that's the time you have to impress your your potential buyers or potential like investors, right? So with that time, you have to deliver a very clear message, and teamwork also is very important. Okay, go ahead. Anyone want to share your insight?
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's all right.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, just like you said, like that was actually like I think the second time I've been in that situation of a presentation. The first one I did was something on a challenge that Deloitte organized back some months back. But that is actually the first time I'm being in such a platform, and it was really kind of scary, right? And again, really nervous and conscious of time as well. So while presenting, I'm looking at the time, and then the moment I saw red, I'm like, "Wow, we're actually done, right?" And you're in a hurry. But I learned a lot about it, right? What I realized is the moment you start speaking, the confidence starts coming up, right? The moment you just start speaking, I try to actually concentrate on looking at just one person, and so I won't start looking at all the faces. This is pretty nice, and I learned a lot from it. And public speaking is something I'm really passionate about, and I think that's something to build on in the future as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very important. Public speaking is right now. At my time in the university college time, we didn't emphasize public speaking. A lot of times, just academic things, right? So you write an exam, everything good, and you're the good student. But nowadays, public speaking is a must, right? So especially when you're in the business world, the real career path. So that's you must be very good at that. All right, Liz.
Yeah, I echo the same sentiments. The public speaking is always intimidating. I've had enough practice over the years, but I feel like the nerves don't really go away. You just find a way to channel the energy somehow. How I like to calm down is that I just speak to people at the conference, and eventually I feel like I have friends and I'm just talking to friends rather than people that are judging me. So that helps. Yeah. In terms of our presentation, we knew that there was 4 people, so we broke it down into 2 minutes, and we timed ourselves the night before for each section, and we timed it just under 2 minutes, and it worked out fine.
Okay, cool. You actually shared a very good tip. You kind of warmed up, right? So before the contest, you have to, if you directly jump to the stage, probably you're a little bit nervous. But if you talk to people beforehand, kind of warm you up, so you get a feeling about the environment. Okay, cool. All right, Umair?
Yeah, about the presentation itself. The initial memo, if you remember, of the contest stated that the presentation time will be 10 minutes, which came up to, which means down 8 minutes just a couple of days before the contest itself. So this kind of really surprised us, and because we were multiple speakers in one presentation, everybody had their own particular slides over which they were talking about, and there was a time frame everyone was following. So now there was a bit of a challenge. Everybody started to, how I can squeeze my presentation slides so that the other person may have that much time. So that was a challenge. But yes, we practiced a lot. We kept on practicing as much as we could. But at the day of the contest itself, we didn't practice. We came to the contest. We sat down, spoke with people. Listened to good speakers that were invited, and tried to know that how they are coming up with the stage fear, how they are covering themselves up, and it really helped. And then walking around the stage, just going in, having a view of the audience, it also helped. So for us, in particular, it was a great experience, and talking to people in general, this really helps you gain more confidence in your practical life as well.
Yeah, I see you really put effort to practice, but when you also give your time a little bit break time, relax a little bit before the presentation time. And like Liz said as well, so you get familiar with the environment, talk to people, warm you up. Okay, cool. So Chandu?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, yeah, to be honest, right, like when you talk in front of all the professionals, it is kind of intimidating, and you get kind of nervous. So as most of you said, right, what I did was I spoke to a lot of people and tried to make friends. So then when you go on stage, you know that you're talking to your friends, right? So you feel much more comfortable. And at the same time, we did a lot of practicing as well, right? So when we flew in, and then after about 3 or 4 hours, we met up together and started practicing in the night. So kept on practicing, and the time was definitely a challenge because we wanted to show a lot of information, right? Because we had a video to show as well. So we had to make everything concise. So we learned some time management skills as well, how to be concise, right, and be on point. So it was definitely a good learning experience as well. Yeah, so practice makes perfect. So we just like kept on
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. So I like all you guys already mentioned the practice, because there's no secret. My experience with public speaking, I also joined a Toastmasters club. Actually, I founded a Toastmaster club before. So I asked my mentor about the secret of public speaking, right? So he actually told me there's no secret. Really is how hard or what kind of effort you want to put to there. Practice make the big difference, right? So only you repeat. I remember at one contest, the speech contest I joined, I practiced I don't remember, near like 1,000 times. So on the stage, it's more like a natural, right? So everything is just a flow, like very smoothly. All right. So I like what you put there. Okay. Another question is, during the competition or contest, our judges also ask you questions. Some of them maybe ask you really hard questions, challenge you, right? So doesn't matter which solution you have, they probably want to see, okay, did you consider this? What do you think about that? Or maybe something they feel, okay, there's a gap there. So why they ask a question to you? How do you feel? So how do you handle their questions? Any insights from you guys?
Sure. So basically what it comes down to is, do you know the topic that you're speaking about? And are you able to solidify your knowledge and actually defend your position, right? Because you can go up there and talk, but if nobody challenges you on it, everything's legitimate and factual, right?
Right.
You have to be a way for someone to be able to challenge it, an outside view, right? Because you have a picture in your mind, and you want to be able to have a picture in your mind that actually makes sense to everyone else, right? So what you have to do before is you have to actually kind of understand, hey, what are the possible cons and where are the contentious issues that they could attack you on, right? And you have to have a set of questions to really defend your idea.
So you need to prepare and also really know what do you talk about, right? So like oftentimes I connect that with the interview time. So you really need to know your resume well when they ask you questions, so you can defend yourself.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just adding to what you said, like you really need to understand what you are bringing in. Like you can't just do a presentation without really understanding it. So that's a factor. So when you do that, you actually know that you will be comfortable with questions. But for us too, we try to come up with possible questions that can be asked. So we for every part of each individual's slide, you have to come up with like 4 to 5 possible questions that you will be asking that aspect. So we did that, we narrowed it down, and we tried to ask ourselves those questions and make sure we prepare answers for those questions. And like you said, the moment you are able to really understand the topic and understand what you are bringing in, you'll be able to answer the questions effectively.
You predict some questions.
Exactly.
Okay.
So without we're comfortable with those questions,
Right. So you have to get prepared for those potential questions beforehand. Okay, cool. All right, Liz?
Growing up, I watched a lot of Dragon's Den and Shark Tank.
Okay.
So I have a sense of what people usually ask, and the top 2 are usually, how are you making money? And are there any other existing companies or groups that already do this? And how are you different? and we got the "How are you making money?" question. But our team presented last, and once we saw University of Victoria present, we're like, they're definitely going to win. They had a demo that was working, and it was brilliant. So I wasn't mad at all.
Okay, good. I like the Dragon Den things, right? So really, they ask you those really hard questions and straightforward about how do you make money? Okay, I don't think you can make money, or I don't think your business can success. How do you handle those? Right? Those are the things you have to answer. The good part is you answer that on the stage. Actually, it's not the most difficult part. If you how you address in the real solution is most difficult part.
Sure.
Right. So that's like, so you'd better to answer that, get it prepared beforehand rather than know nothing. Then when you put all those rubber on the roads, right? So then you encounter all those difficult things that are related to true money. Right. So you'd get it prepared for those questions beforehand. Okay, cool. Umair?
Yeah, it's very obvious that, when you're trying to present an idea, questions like how, what, when are going to be asked to you. So you really need to prepare yourself that, if I am going to showcase an idea,
right.
The other person, the listeners, they are going to be, they're going to ask you questions, and it's very important that you try to practice a question and answer session beforehand when you're going up stage, and that is what we actually did. We all start once we had our presentation ready and we were practicing that. During that time, we started asking questions to ourselves as well. Everyone in the team started asking questions, so that we were actually giving a tough time to ourselves before appearing on the stage itself. So this kind of helped us as well, because this gave us an idea that how tough the questions can be.
Okay, so yeah, I like the structure of your when you prepare those questions, come up with like a what, when, where. Those are like architecture questions as well. There's a framework, so really you can structure all your answers based on those process. Okay, cool. All right, Chandu?
Yeah. So, and for us, the key was to know our solution inside and out, how it works, right? Why it is working the way it is, and then how it can help. So we also did some brainstorming. We came up with some questions that the judges could ask, and we challenged ourselves as well to come up with the correct answers. And then at the same time, I also had some of our friends in the team who went and watched videos online, like on Shark Tank. So I think it really helped, because the guys who watched Shark Tank were the ones who answered questions, so maybe Shark Tank is the one to go to. But yeah, it's a team effort, right? So challenge each other and know what you're talking about, know it inside and out.
I recall there's one hard question asked to your team, because usually if you present any solution, one of the common question you will come from, okay, how do you differentiate your solution from other competitors, right? So because nowadays it's not easy to come up with something totally new, right? So we never seen that before. So for example, your solution for that demo, so probably there's some other company already have a little bit similar concept or similar solutions. So they ask you, okay, if there's already a company doing this, how do you differentiate yourself? So that's a really hard question.
Yeah, no, that was the hard question. I mean, I know there's another tool called Multigo, which does similar information gathering. And then, so thing about that was, so Multigo, I think you need to pay for it as well, right? And you need to get subscriptions, and it's not like a tool that a normal employee can just go and use it, right? You need to play around with it and understand how it works. So the key here was usability, right? And user experience. So when we developed the solution, we had to make sure that it's usable and the user gets a good experience compared to a much more technical solution like Multigo. So, and user is the key, right? So without the users, you won't have anyone using the solution. So really the whole thing around the user, what the experiences was and how the usability works for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think you all did really well and handled the question also because of the feedback I got from our judges. They were impressed by your answers and the preparation from your team. One thing I'd like to point out also as well is a lot of times we put the focus on ourselves. Okay, we put a lot of time to prepare ourselves, to think about all kinds of questions. And for your future consideration, to answer the question, like for example, the judge's question, you probably also need to practice your listening skills and try to see what they really concern about. Because you probably already have some answers. Well, why are you listening? You probably already start to think about how do I answer, how do I come up with the, but their message you need to fully understand. So they may really concern about the A, like something related to A, but you probably think about B, your answer related to B, right? So this is actually the very good timing for you to practice your listening skills, truly understand what the other people think about, what their concern is about. Not only for the judging time, but also for when you talk to your customers, while you try to sell your solution to your customers. A lot of times it's not about how long you speak, but really about do you understand their needs and address that need. So that's another insight I like to share with you guys. But you did great at the contest. So I really admire you guys because while I was at university college, I never got that experience before. All right. Okay. So it's coming to the end of our online chat. So the last question I like to ask you guys is obviously you launch your career or someone already in there already. So what's your kind of cybersecurity is a big domain. So what do you think about this industry and what's your like a future career objective is?
I guess I'm going to start again. Okay. So
yeah, okay.
What it comes down to is like technology is a beautiful thing, right? And what cybersecurity does is it tries to preserve this beautiful thing that we have, right? Because without security measures, there's no practical use, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very contentious issue, and there's just so many aspects. And as I said earlier, it's multidisciplinary. There's so many ways to go about it. Are you going to do like physical security? Are you going to do technical security? Are you going to do governance? Are you going to comply with policies? How are you going to preserve people's passwords? It's just such a diverse field.
Right.
So there's so many angles in which to attack. So personally, since I have a legal background, my interest is going to be in policy work and applying frameworks to technical policy, right? Because there's not. Right now, what we're missing in IT and especially cybersecurity is an intermediary between IT people and business people, right? Because they don't speak the same language whatsoever. They might speak English, but they're just on different crossroads. So I want to be almost to solidify that gap and fill the void there. And also at the same time, making policies that actually work for both parties so they actually understand, right? Just because you have a password policy doesn't mean that people understand it. And a lot of IT people don't understand that, right?
Yeah, the security, risk management, and the policy governance actually is one of the foundation for the cybersecurity. It's not just the technical, right? So it has some technical component, but also regarding the as you mentioned, you have the legal background, right? So the legal side, the compliance side, and also the communication. How do you like let other people? Because the policy itself is just the rules, right? So the true thing is how do you let people follow the policy? How do you kind of comply with these policies? Right?
Yeah,
so that's another aspect.
I've actually led a team before, and you tell someone to do something, you tell 5 people to do it. Everybody has a little different approach to it, right? Sometimes they mark, sometimes they don't. So you have to be very specific. And it's kind of like that with cybersecurity.
Exactly. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Okay, Ifeanyi?
Yeah, I remember actually coming to this field, moving into cybersecurity and studying. When you hear about cybersecurity from the outside, the first thing you think about is hacking, right? Yeah. And so when I started, I realized that this is a quite diverse field, and there's so many things out of it. And then I remember I was thinking about which field actually am I going into, where where will I be more comfortable, and where can I actually grow in? And that was actually what motivated me to do digital certification on incident response. Okay, so it kind of created a path, because why I choose that is a path in cybersecurity that keeps you on your toes. It's a path that you are always active, you are always doing something, and you are always learning, which is something I was actually looking out for. So that was actually what motivated me into going to that direction of incident response. But actually moving forward, I realized that for me to actually be better in this field, I need to have a very good knowledge of ethical hacking too. So that is also something I'm looking to merge it and actually be part of the Purple team, right? So for me, that's actually my career path, and that is where I'm definitely looking into cybersecurity.
Of course, yes. So the tools technology is moving so fast, so you need to have a comprehensive knowledge and also always stay current. And the penetration test and offensive security is always the front line of the cybersecurity. So you have to understand what a hacker doing that to put together your good cybersecurity defensive solutions.
Sure.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Umair?
Yeah. As for cybersecurity, I believe cybersecurity is for everyone, because everybody is using the technology and everybody needs security as well. So going forward, what we as a team believe that we will keep on continuing trying to improve our idea, because the technology is one part of cybersecurity. There are other parts, that is management. Then there is services, and all these parts need to be working as one component to make sure that this is being provided to everyone. And this is not just one person's responsibility, it's somehow everyone's responsibility, because if by any means cybersecurity for one is breached, the aftermath tries to include the other people as well in it. So we will try being part of trying to provide new ideas to this, not only just as a career perspective, but also as a social responsibility as well.
I like it. Yeah. So exactly like what you said, the awareness, education, and not just one party is doing really good, the other the suffer. Then it doesn't work like this way. Even like a bank, although they put a lot of money, people there, but they also have thousands of suppliers, like millions of customers. So it's a whole ecosystem, right? So it's not a one or two person's job. It's a whole society. You need to work together. So, and also from your background, you're in the business analysis side, right?
Yes.
So which also can help with from business side, how to put together a strategy or solution for cyber. All right, cool. All right, Chandu.
Thank you. I mean, so for us overall as a team, so as everyone said, right, cybersecurity is a growing field, and no matter how small or large your business is, you need security, you need people to defend you. And so as a team, we are also thinking of, taking our solution, building on it, coming up with a business plan and putting it out there, in public to get it going. And so personally, for me, I have like a tendency or notion, whenever I use an application, I like to find loopholes and vulnerabilities. I like to play around. So I don't know how it happens. It just comes to me, right? So, so because of that, I think I'm going to focus on penetration testing. So yeah, I don't know how it comes. It's just a feeling, like you just use something, you try to find vulnerabilities and all that. And at the end of the day, right, you're doing something good. You're trying to keep the online community safe because everything is going online, right? So you feel good at the end of the day. So I'm just following my passion, like what I like to do.
Okay. I can see a couple of career paths there. One is on the startup side, because you can take your solution, right? So to further build that, consider this contest as your initial investment. Then you continue your startup solution. May not be just this one. In the future, you can come up with a lot of other cool tools or technology. On the other side is exploring the vulnerability management or penetration tests. So those also are very good career paths. All right, cool. All right, Liz?
For me personally, I got into tech because from my biochemistry background, I visited a professor, and he told me that computers work essentially analogous to our DNA. So DNA has 4 base pairs, and there's 4 ways of combining zeros and ones. That blew my mind completely, and it led me to this. And no matter what industry you're in, you're going to have to protect people's data. I feel that's very important. Right now I'm doing penetration testing, and it's really humbling. It seems very exciting. It is exciting, but there's so much to learn. There are some days that I get discouraged, but I know what my ultimate goal is, and it's going to help people, so that keeps me going. Eventually I want to combine both my biotech background and cybersecurity background, and do cybersecurity for biotech companies.
Wow.
I think that's going to be really important in the future.
Yeah, I like it. Because one thing I like cybersecurity amazed me is because it's across domains. So you may from different background, like business analysis, from technology side, or from the risk legal side. Like Liz, you have a biometrics things. That's so all those things. When you combine your previous expertise and with a cyber, you probably will come up with something brand new, or something you can bring some good impact or big impact to the industry. So those are the things I like very much. All right, I think we've come to the end of our talk. So first of all, thank you very much for taking your time to join this one. And I really also learned quite a lot from you guys, the insights and the feedback about this contest. And it's a journey. It's not just a stop. It's just only one stop along your career journey, right? So you guys will have a lot of huge, amazing things along your career path. So keep me posted, and I also look forward to collaborating with you guys in the near future.
Fantastic.
Thank you very
Thank you, Brian. Thank you very much.
All right, cool. Thank you very much for your time. I look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you.
All right, cool. All right, so for my LinkedIn friends, I hope you also get some insights from those team captains, and feel free to put your comments there. I'm sure they will try their best to answer your questions, and I look forward to see you next time. Bye.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you very much, Brian.
Yeah.